And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Here it is for a Monday, the final week in June of 2022. That's hard to believe we're saying that too, but half the year is gone. And of course, with that, is more artists bringing out some great singles and, of course, full length albums, EPs. They're out there. You just got to find them, of course, and get those updates too, as we're presented by our good friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out, bangtail.com. And, of course, our friends over at MitchMacs.com, the official merchandise provider of the show, and of course our friends at Hank Jr. Productions. Appreciate all the work that our sponsors do. We're live on the YouTube channel and of course at the sportsguyspodcast.com. You can also catch the show during the week at nightwaveradio.net. Well, I tell you, one of those artists is always a great friend of the program. She's kind enough always to drop by and talk about her single called Good Friends. It came out on June the 24th. Sarah Wickett back here on the program. Sarah, how things going?
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me back.
You got a parking spot here. I always said that back there. Reserved parking spot. You just pull in whenever new music comes out. We're always glad to have you here on the show, no doubt about it. Well, let's dive right into it because we're going to hear it on the broadcast here, no doubt. But this has been a great ride ever since last week this came out. I know fans were kind of buzzing for a new single and new music. And of course, a lot of people, as I mentioned there at the top of the show, are putting out singles to keep in touch with their fans. And of course, I know it's a lot cheaper to do singles than it is full length albums too. And there's a lot more that goes into it. Where did this come from? And give me the idea behind the song. I think it's a great song, no doubt.
Thank you. So the inspiration, I wrote the song with Jesse Slack. He's another songwriter artist down here in Canada. And it was actually our first write together, which is always really special when a first write becomes like one of your actual favorite songs and something that you record. And we actually wrote it back in 2020, so like right in the middle of the pandemic when everything was kind of all crazy and we weren't allowed to see our friends. So I think we were just missing our friends and we were just like, let's write a song about them. I feel like the song is just kind of really knowing who your true friends are, not being afraid to kind of stand up for yourself. And I'm super just like I like being on the same wavelength as the people I surround myself with. And I just think the lyrics really show that. So, and I also feel like Good Friends is like Mama's Boy's cousin. I think the last time I was on here, we were talking about Mama's Boy, so I'm sure you're familiar with that song.
Oh yeah.
Musically, they're both like dark, and they're like super strong songs, and two of my favorites. So yeah,
it's great songs. Continued great work out there too. You know, anybody that knows you come from that small town feel, and of course. I know the fact is, and we talked a little bit about this, you love hunting, you love fishing, and of course, growing up, family, musical roots, and stuff like that. Kind of tell the audience, and they may not know, but great upbringing, such as Carrie Underwood, Shania Twain, Christina Aguilera, that you were inspired by, that I know. Kind of tell the audience what it was like growing up there in Canada and just being inspired by those particular artists and what kind of drove you toward that, and then songwriting as well.
Yeah. So I kind of always loved performing. I was a bit of a shyer kid and I wouldn't really sing in front of anyone at first, but I knew I loved singing so much. My parents had put me in figure skating actually first. That was like my first kind of exposure to being able to perform in some kind of way. So I did that for 8 years. And towards the end of that, I started singing more and my parents put me in vocal lessons and I was doing competitions, and then I was kind of slowly starting to build up my confidence to be able to sing in front of people, and I was doing the whole YouTube thing, which is always really great and definitely a really good platform to start on, especially back then. And then I moved to Toronto because I really had a passion to pursue the music career. And so I did that, and I went to school in Toronto, and as I was in school I was building my band. And I know you asked me what it was like growing up in Beaverton.
It's all good.
Detroit to Toronto, but growing up here was amazing. I love, we grew up on a lake, so it's always nice to come back here because my parents still live here. And we are on the lake all the time. I absolutely love being on the water and the sunsets. It's always amazing, and it's really inspirational for songwriting, as you were mentioning. And I think just like being surrounded by beautiful things in a beautiful place and beautiful people just always really inspired me to write. And I loved English as a subject in school growing up, so just naturally I gravitated towards eventually writing songs.
What's it been back to kind of be for you guys, definitely doing what you do best? What has it felt like to be back on stage?
Honestly, I haven't done a ton of shows because it's still been pretty difficult to
Even
get
there?
back up
Yeah.
there and
Yeah.
like I don't know, especially up here in Canada. I know in the States there's a lot and a lot of festivals, but there's not that many still here in Canada, or still I feel like being a little bit cautious. But yeah, the few shows that I have done, I remember the first show that I did, it was back in the spring.
Hmm.
And I was really nervous. It felt like my first show all over again. But it was so much fun, and obviously, it all comes back, and it's just like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do, and it was just a
Hmm.
really amazing feeling.
Yeah, I know there's some restrictions, many more up there than it is down here in the States too, because we got more of the festivals going on, and of course the live music stuff that's out there. Of course, people still got to take certain precautions. Each venue has its own rules, which is now kind of
Yeah.
like I said, the mask mandate, wear it or not wear it type thing. You
Mhm.
did a fantastic song, and really when we first met, I believe it was 2019, 2020. This was more 2020, but it was one of my favorites. And for a lot of people that don't know or did not hear this, or maybe seeing you for the first time, or becoming a fan for the first time, Sarah Wickett fan. Friday Night In. Let's go back to that one a little bit and talk about it, because that was one of my favorites when you kind of, for me, it just boomed on the scene there when I got to meet you there too. And then What We Do followed that one. Let's kind of break down Friday Night In a little bit for the fans that may not know some of the Sarah Wickett, the other tracks that you had come out with.
Yeah. So Friday Night In was the second single I released in 2020. And we actually wrote that before the pandemic. So it's kind of funny that the song's basically all about preferring to stay in on a Friday night rather than going out to a club and spending all this money and getting too drunk and just all of those things that you do when you go out.
Hmm.
And it kind of ties in with good friends too. I like to be, with my intimate with my people, and just kind of hang out on a Friday night, drinking some wine with some pizza in the oven, and things like that. So that was written in November, December of 2019, and it was
Hmm.
just the perfect song to release in the middle of a pandemic. We thought that was really funny, but yeah, it's one of my favorites too. I love that song.
I loved it. We got a chance to talk about What We Do as well. Another fantastic song that you'd put out there too at the same time. Of course, you got so much. I talk about this, or so much of the people, the country music, and you overlap, and you got so much you can do with your vocals. You're super talented, no doubt about it, as an artist that could cross over and sound just as good in country as any other genre out there. What We Do kind of had a great feel to it. Kind of tell the audience a little bit about that one too.
Yeah, that one was kind of inspired by Kane Brown, like Good As You type vibes. And I wanted to do like a sexy song. And that was just kind of what we went with. It wasn't even supposed to be called What We Do. I can't remember what we were calling it at first, but when I first wrote it, I took it to my producers, Mark Shore and Eric Frentelman, and we basically just revamped the whole song into what it is now. And yeah, it's definitely a different vibe, but I love it so much. It's so sexy and just cool, and yeah, I love it.
Let me ask you this: how important is it to kind of be across genres? We talk about that and the things that you can do with your voice, but just cultural diversity. I'm seeing more of that in music today. How important is that to you?
I love this segue that you're doing. I love where you're going with this. I feel like I can read your mind. Um, yeah, it's very important to me. Obviously, as you know, I'm doing the whole Desi pop country thing,
Hmm.
and trying to kind of incorporate that into my music as well. So I feel like country is one of the genres that you can literally do anything with, I think. And I didn't think there was much South Asian representation in country music. So that's why I kind of, not only do I love the culture and everything and the music and stuff, but I definitely think that needs to kind of make its way in.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to do that by featuring artists and working with South Asian artists and industry people. And it's been great. And I think it's really, really important.
Yeah, it goes to show me too as well that we need more of that just in music, and it's happening even today where country is not just this traditional sound anymore. There's so many things that people can do in the studio with sound effects and like I said, instrumentation, and going in there with the mix and the mastering, depending on what producer they're working with, their ideas plus somebody else's ideas, and two heads are better than one, that old saying too. So it's always good to kind of just enjoy the final product. And I know for a lot of people, it's life's work. It's telling stories, and that's that being compelling, and just being able to reach an audience through your music is what you guys do, and you do it. You're one of my favorites out there. I want to go to a couple in 2021 is we're kind of doing the chronological thing here I like to do. And that's one of the things people know me is I always do my homework on this show. You know that. You've known me for the last 2 or 3 years. Potential came out, had a really good ring to it. I kind of like the fact of what you did there. A little bit of a crossover there too. At the same time, let's break that one down, and then we'll kind of talk about 2 Feet as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Potential was definitely more pop than I usually do. I loved all of the instruments in that song. I think it came together really well. And I wrote that song about a breakup that I went through. And yeah, basically the song says it all. Don't fall for someone's potential. You'll learn the hard way. But it makes for great songs. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that it's a sad song, but it doesn't sound sad. It's like very poppy and
Mm-hmm.
upbeat and fun, but the lyrics are kind of sad. So
A little bit sad, but like I said, people have gone through some different relationships before or things that breakups, and we've all done that. So you can kind of resonate with the song, no doubt about it, which is out there. We'll talk about 2 Feet here in a little bit, but again, the current single is Good Friends across all the digital platforms. Make sure you guys check that out. Also visit her at Sarah Wickett with 2 T's, sarahwickett.com for tour schedules and things like that, merchandise. You guys can give her likes across all the socials out there. I'm going to turn the program over to you. I do like the coffee mug, by the way. We actually have some out now with the Backstage Pass too out there across on the MitchMacs.com website. So those just came in a few weeks ago, so people can check those out and go grab some mugs off of there too, and also men's and ladies apparel. So I feel like you become official as a media representative when you have merchandise, right? It makes you feel different.
I gotta get one of those.
Yeah, MitchMacs.com. We'll have a commercial with that here in just a little bit. Take a break for our sponsors. We're going to turn it over to you, and you're going to play Good Friends, the latest single for us. So here we go.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Okay, here we go. You know those people who hit you up out of the blue like they know you, the kind of people that won't fill your cup, but you're filling theirs, the good stuff. Not trying to entertain an empty conversation, not on the same page, don't have the same vibrations. That's okay, 'cause I know, yeah, I know. My real good friends are gonna have my back, through the good and bad. My real good friends are gonna always keep good company. Ain't judging about nothing, even if the guy I'm with, they ain't loving till the end and back again. Always have my real good friends, my real good friends, yeah. You know those people, yeah, they're fake as hell. Start a lot of drama just to run their mouths. I know my girls are gonna shut that down. That's how we do in this town, yeah. My real good friends are gonna have my back, through the good and bad. My real good friends are gonna always keep good company. Ain't judging about nothing, even if the guy I'm with, they ain't loving till the end and back again. Always have my real good friends, my real good friends, yeah. Trying to entertain an empty conversation, not on the same page, don't have the same vibrations. That's okay, 'cause I know, yeah, yeah, yeah. My real good friends are gonna have my back, through the good and bad. My real good friends are gonna always keep good company. Judging about nothing, even if the guy I'm with, they ain't loving till the end and back again.
always. I've said it many times here on the program, no doubt about it. Just love to see you come to Canada, just watch you play a concert and just sit at the local coffee shop and or wherever you perform, drink and eat all day and just I don't know, just have fun, enjoy your music. I love it so much. Like I said, I roll it every day on the playlist, no doubt. Check her out at sarahwickett.com and of course, good friends. Current single across the platform. We're going to come back and break down a few more tracks, no doubt, and kind of get into some other cool stuff, rapid fire. And yeah, I'm going to talk about Mama's Boy. Somebody that Facebooked me today and said, "You got Sarah on the program, one of our favorites. Are you going to talk about Mama's Boy?" I said, "Yes, I am. No doubt about it, too." So plenty of the program to get to here again, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey and, of course, their friends at MitchMacs.com and Hank Jr. Productions. More with Sarah here on the program. Stay tuned. It is the Backstage Pass. We're live on the YouTube channel, of course, also at nightwaveradio.net. Great internet station out of Oklahoma. You can also hear us in the UK as well. And, of course, at the sportsguyspodcast.com. Wherever you find podcasts, you'll find us there. The Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast. Here we go. Word from Bangtail. Back more with Sarah here in just a minute. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle. And the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And, of course, big show coming up this week. Nashville recording artist Cameron Marlowe is going to stop by this week. Looking forward to talking to him about his latest single, Girl on Fire. And, of course, a lot of big questions to check with Cameron. Should be tomorrow. And, of course, we'll put that out probably Tuesday afternoon so you can catch up with Cameron. It's going to be an audio interview at the SportsGuysPodcast.com. We'll put it on our socials out there. But exciting news for the show. Cameron Marlowe, one of the top artists in Nashville on Sony Music, doing his big thing out there, too. Back here with Sarah Wickett here on the program. The current single, Good Friends, is across all the digital platforms as we're presented by Bangtail Whiskey, our friends over at MitchMacs.com, the official merchandise provider of the show. And, of course, our good friends at Hank Jr. Productions. A lot of great things about your music I love so much. And another song that hit me in 2021 as I kept following the path. I said she's just continuing to grow as an artist and bust out in a number of genres of music. 2 Feet. So I really want to get the backstory of that one.
Yeah. I feel like as you like to do chronological order, I also like to do that with my music. So like you're talking about potential, written about a breakup, or like realizing when you're in a relationship that you kind of fallen for someone's potential. But 2 Feet was like the official breakup song. And I didn't really have a super sad song, and I really love sad songs. Like I just love, even if I'm super happy, I love crying to a good sad song. So I wanted to write one that was really heart-wrenching, and there was many times I cried recording that, writing that. And like, you know, it's all real emotion and real things that actually happen in my life and in my relationship. And so it was a hard one, but it's one of my favorites, and always fun to release sad songs.
Well, those sad songs will get those clicks, and you've seen those streaming numbers go up ever since. All your music is, again, fantastic. All right, I got to dive in a little bit to Mama's Boy, because I know the story behind it. But for the listeners that don't, or hearing this for the first time, or always we try to make new fans here on the program, the artwork was fantastic. You kind of got the gist of it as your back is toward the cowboy there. You're turned and you got kind of like the blue outfit on. It's pretty cool. Where did the artwork take place? And for the fans that don't know the song Mama's Boy, it's another one of those songs that very much is outpouring. People can feel it in a lot of different directions.
Yeah. So the artwork, to answer your first question, was taken when we filmed the music video. So it all kind of tied in together. But we were so that's my boyfriend in the photo.
Yeah, yeah.
He wasn't the mama's boy I was talking about in the song, but we had him on the cover. So we were just doing like a photo shoot just to promote the song and the music video and everything. That day we just did everything, and I don't know, we were just kind of like, let's turn back to back and see what that does. And we were looking through the pictures after, and that was just the best one. And it kind of says it all, like you said, just from our body language. And just, I kind of also edited like a darker, whatever that's called. The black,
yeah, the fade or whatever. Yeah, the fade out.
You know what I mean? So I added that to his side to make it seem like he was even more of a bad guy, and it just worked out really well. So that's where that came from. And then, yeah, Mama's Boy is basically a mashup of country and Punjabi music. I wrote the song again about past relationship and just kind of what I went through in that relationship. And it's kind of just about interfering mothers and families, and just kind of how to deal with dating someone outside of your culture and figuring out how to kind of manage a relationship with somebody who has different values than you, and just kind of realizing it's not really working out.
I love this comment too. We get one in the margin here, which is good. Jay was tuning in on the YouTube channel. He says, well, that's pretty cool. He said also too, when you were performing, I was like, yeah, she's one of my favorites there. So keep the comments coming. If you got some questions, feel free to leave them in the margin too as well. All right, let's break down for 22 going into this year. Another again, just song that, when songs are great, they always catch you. It's that first set of instrumentation that comes into it, or first set of lyrics that you hear. And you could be, I don't know, the old school with me was a jukebox, and of course the old vinyl records that I grew up with too at the same time. So you knew when that first verse came on. There's a song like Routine that you guys put out here in 22 as well. When I heard the first set of notes kind of come through there, and of course the instruments with that particular tune, I was like, that's Sarah Wickett. You just know Routine's a fantastic song. Of course, that's my playlist too at the same time, and listening to all the different media outlets that I do. What was the inspiration behind Routine?
Again, just going through the motions. First was a breakup, then it was like finding someone new. So yeah, I met my boyfriend a while after I had that breakup in the past. I feel like everyone knows like my whole lifeline. But obviously Routine is about my relationship with my current boyfriend, and just how amazing he is and our love story. The funny thing about this song is I wrote this song maybe 2 weeks after him and I met, which to some might sound kind of soon, but I feel like if you found your person and you found your soulmate, you know exactly what I'm talking about in this song. Like it's when you know. And I actually sent him the song as soon as I wrote it, and we had only been talking for maybe 3 weeks, and then we met a week in, and then I wrote the song. And I was scared to send it to him because it was early, but I'm like, I'm feeling all of these things. I'm a songwriter. I'm just going to send it to him. He seems like he really likes me too. So hopefully we're on the same page. And I sent it to him, and he just like went silent for an hour. And I'm like, oh no, what did I do? But he was basically just processing it, like the fact that I wrote a song about him and I was feeling all those feelings, and he was also feeling the same thing. So I think he was also just like so shocked as well. And yeah, it's been amazing, and it's really nice to love someone and be loved how I've always wanted to be loved, and it just honestly feels like a fairy tale every day with him, and I wanted to write a song about that.
And then, like you said, something like that, incorporating the ones we love into our everyday life and to the family, routine, God, faith, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I got from it, just the gist of the song. Because every time I listen to one, I do so many different tunes to listen to, and sometimes they're like, well, Brandon, you're a media outlet, so what do you think about this one? Provide a quote for that one. So I try to listen to them very deep, and the lyrics, a lot of times the lyrics will lyrics always give it away. But if you really sometimes, you just need to listen a little bit deeper. And that one for me was about incorporating love into your everyday life, into your family and faith, and things like that. And basically what we always do, especially now being a first time dad, the routine that I have too as well for my daughter, and the love I have.
When did you have
we actually she was a COVID baby, April 2nd of 2020.
Congratulations.
So she's going on October will be 2.5. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's when you get to be a mom, you call me for you, because they say the first one scares you. It does. I had no clue what. And here's the thing: you can read all the books and do all the things and whatever else and be prepared, but in hindsight, you're really not. You have to really just experience it for that the first year is hard, but it does get easier. I'll tell you that when you become a mom one day, because your music is so great, you're gonna make one heck of a mother. I've got to know you as a good friend of mine too. So when you have yours, I got some tips for you. You talk about get ready for that first few months to not get any type of sleep whatsoever. My goodness, I'll tell you what. Well, I know we broke down a lot of the songs too, which are fantastic. Let me ask you this: what's the most challenging part that you kind of, as you go through this industry, the most challenging part that you face or you feel like you face when it comes to being an artist? What's the most challenging part?
I feel like just getting in your own head and just watching other people do what you want to be doing, kind of thing. Like, you're super happy for other people and other artists to be doing like what they're doing, and like you're very inspired by them. But I feel like you can get in your head a lot too. I feel like you almost are never you're never almost satisfied, like 100% satisfied with what you're doing. And I feel like, especially with social media is amazing, but a lot of the time it's a big numbers game, and it can really, really mess with your head. I try to be as positive and not let that happen, but it's kind of inevitable. You're always on social media watching everybody else doing their thing and hoping one day that's going to be you. So just kind of, I guess just trying to figure out how to get there and staying positive and just staying in your own lane and not really worrying about what other people are doing is a challenge for sure.
It sure is, no doubt. And that's a great way to put it too, because you see all the other stuff and we're on it every day, whether we like it or not. We're there for several minutes to several hours on and off during the day. And I think the biggest thing now is I love the fact is I don't have to be on it, because I can get those little notification things, those dings now. And when you get that, it's like, oh, something's up. Okay, something's going on with the show, or something's going on with this artist or that. So it's kind of cool. And the cool thing is, always I know you're going to be with me on my show, because I get the dings and it's like, Sarah's got a new song. When are we going to get to chat with her? So that's the cool thing, is definitely the media releases, the press releases we get throughout the country. Well, I'll tell you what, time to play a little rapid fire. We changed a little bit here, and I love doing this with you. So I know the fact is, growing up hunting and fishing, and I'm hoping, it's just been so hot. My God, here in Texas, we got this wave of heat. It's like 106 on the car dashboard when I got in it yesterday, and like starting it up, and I just hit the press start button, and the outside thing, of course, that's just sitting there with no cover on the front windshield, but it said 106 outside temp. Now that's heat index and everything. Is there a heat wave going on up there where you live? And if it is, how are you guys kind of staying inside, drinking a lot of water?
Yeah, it was really hot this week, but it was really cold the week before. Okay. Like the week before, last week, it got down to like 10 degrees or something. And I was actually supposed to shoot the Good Friends music video that week. And good thing we didn't. We had to postpone it because it was freezing. But yeah, it was hot this week. We actually shot the music video for Good Friends on Friday, and it was 30 degrees, and it was extremely hot. Got a little bit burnt, but yeah, it's been nice. Honestly, the heat, when we have heat, because we don't have it that much or for that long, we're outside. We don't like to stay inside. I don't even like air conditioning. Just because I love the heat and love being in the sun. But yeah, like I said, my parents live on the lake. So if it's really hot, I come up here and we just kind of stay in the lake and hang out. And I love the heat.
And just go swimming and stay in the water. No doubt about it. That's what we're going to do this weekend at the July 4th at the beach down here in Texas. I guarantee you so many wrinkles will happen here. I won't get out of the water. My kid will be in there swimming and all that kind of stuff. So it's just, if it's 100 degrees, I'm going to stay in the, people say, yep, salt water is better than nothing. I'm going to tell you right now, keep you cool either way. So they're like, you'll lay on the beach and catch the rays and everything. I'm like, nope, I'm not laying on the hot sand and go walking around barefooted with under that canopy, you could, but man, the humidity, it gets to you, and that's summer here in Texas for you, no doubt.
Yep.
All right, I love doing this one from time to time. We get it. So if you won one of the big lotteries tomorrow, let's say the Powerball or Mega Millions or something like that, and it's Sarah Wickett has the winning ticket, all 6 numbers, you match them. What's the first thing you do with the money?
Oh my gosh. I feel like you always ask me this and I never know what to say. Without sounding super materialistic, I'd probably buy myself a new car, honestly. An electric car, because my car's gonna break any day, and I have an old 2010 Chevy Cobalt. And I don't even see any more on the road. I don't see any more of those cars on the road anymore. So like they're probably all about to die. My car's rusting underneath. And usually I don't really care what I drive. I'm not like I need to have a super fancy car or anything, but my car is starting to rust. And it's like when I'm pulling up somewhere and I see a really nice car, if someone's getting out of a really nice car, and then I'm getting out of a rusty car, I'm just like, I should probably get a new car. But yeah, and obviously better for the environment. I would get an electric car for sure.
That's I thought about that too. Like I said, we used to have a hybrid too at the same time, but it was of course still gas, but not all the way electric. But I'm kind of with you. I've seen those commercials lately, and I don't know. I might have to. I don't know, man. It's one of those edge things. I'm on edge with. Well, I like it, the fact it's friendlier to the environment, but at the same time, I'm like you. If I won the lottery, I'd probably just go get me one Tesla, something to just. I'm not throw away money, just make the environment better and make it healthier. And you see them everywhere, because we vacation out in Arizona for 2 or 3 times a year. And we pull at this local mall down the street. It's called Fashion Square Mall. And as you pull in, there's charging stations everywhere now for these electric cars. So I'm all about that too at the same time. And anything to help our environment, help us breathe better, no doubt about it. All right, I know you love doing this, and I remember this. I'm trying to remember, but everybody likes a little glass of wine. I forgot what you had told me with a pizza. The same time, or just kind of those good Italian food. What do you like to do kind of as far as food and beverage? Do you cook a lot? Do you do takeout? And if you do, what's kind of been the latest craving?
I love cooking. My boyfriend and I cook all the time. Usually when I'm cooking, it's Indian food. I love cooking Indian food. It's such a process to cook an Indian meal, but it's so much fun. Like you always gotta have the garlic, ginger, green chilies, onions, and those are like the staples. And then all the spices and everything goes in. But yeah, we're always cooking. Of course, I love to go out to eat every once in a while. Definitely a fan of a good sushi restaurant. Sushi is definitely my favorite. I love seafood so much, and yeah.
I like that, which is good too. You never could go wrong with a good bowl of something there, or like you said, just any type of seafood, grilled or fried out there too at the same time. I love it, and definitely one of my favorites out there. Well, I tell you what, it's a song that's catching a lot of buzz, not only in her home country of Canada, but also Nashville. I've heard some cool things just from some my friends out there, and of course people I've told about. So we always cover a lot of ground, good ground here on the show, and you always make it very much, worth a while to have the visit. Just fantastic music, and I'm not surprised when I said she was going to grow. She's continuing to grow out there and make a name for herself in all different genres of music. Just super talented songwriter and super talented artist out there. Check her out, sarahwickett.com, and you guys go check out Good Friends if you haven't already across all the platforms. Make sure you get that, and like I said, take care of that out there too at the same time. Sarah, always appreciate the time here on the Backstage Pass. Thanks so much for joining us, and looking forward to doing it again.
Yes, thank you so much. You've been so sweet, and it was so nice to see you again.
Always good to see you, no doubt. Thanks to MitchMacs, our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, and our friends at Hank Jr. Productions, of course. And don't forget this week, Cameron Marlowe stopping by here on the Backstage Pass. We'll talk about Girl on Fire, and of course a host of a bunch of songs out there that he's done too as well. We'll see you guys on the Backstage Pass. As always, thanks for tuning in. See you soon.